Hi guys, so it's late on in the year. It's now time for us to think about whether we want to overwinter some of our chilies. So what we've got is we've got some of our chilies which we put in our aquaponics system. You can just easily put it into normal soil to keep them over winter. You can put them into a hydroponic system to keep them over winter. But the important thing is to try and keep them warm. And when I mean warm, I mean above 10 degrees. So they don't have to be super warm like during the summer when they're fruiting. But over winter they do like to keep away from anything close to freezing, because then they'll die off. So they are perennials, so you can keep them for many years, but in the UK climate, because it gets so cold in winter, they tend to act more like annuals. So these are a close look at the plants that we've put into our aquaponics system, so we can have them in the greenhouse over winter. So there's a couple of things you need to think about. So the first thing is if there's any fruit left on the plant. So there's a few with fruit, so literally we'll just go along and we'll pick all those fruits, come around to enter on here. Anything usable obviously we'll use, anything that's a bit sort of shriveled up, so like this Thai orange here, not really going to be a nice fruit to eat, so that will go on the compost heap, and I'm sure the birds will enjoy having a go at that if they see it. The second thing you need to do is then go along and look for any dead leaves that come onto the plants at the end of the year. So literally we'll just go along and we'll just get rid of all of these leaves here. Okay, and then once we've done that, then we need to think about whether we're going to cut down the plants at all. So if you go to the bottom of the plant, then you can see that there is sort of a tendency to sort of start to go a little bit woody at the bottom here. So you can see here that the green has started to turn a bit brown, and it does give you a sort of woody effect. So over the next few years, if we keep the plant alive, then it will turn into a small bush, and it will resemble a small tree eventually, and go quite woody. So what we want to do is we need to make sure there's a good 8 inches of green growth above the woody area. So quite simply, if you've got a big hand, my hands are not huge, but it's around about 8 inches for a span. So what I do is I basically go to the bottom of the plant and find where the woody part is, and then I literally just measure up with a span, and then I know from this point here I can then chop it back if I want to. So you can just see the top of the plant there, I can get rid of. Basically what that does is it compacts the plant and it encourages the growth then from the lower part of the plant in the following year. It does give it a bit more of a bushy effect, but it also helps cut back anything that's got a bit gangly throughout this season. So now I've given them a bit of a trim, and you can see that they're actually quite bare now, so it's quite a drastic trim. So I've gone all through them all, got rid of anything extra, got them down to pretty much the bare minimum. So we've taken the woody part of the stems on each one of them, and then we've just given them a hand span there. So from the woody part at the bottom, just some green growth up to there, and giving them a trim. So I've been quite harsh on them, but as you can see that many of them have younger leaves on there, and they have little shoots coming out. Even on the smallest ones, there's little shoots coming out there. So I'm quite confident they're going to grow back. And also, it's a good opportunity here to see how well I did or didn't space them out when I planted them up in the grow bed for winter. But we've got a nice selection here. So we've got some habanero ones along here, habanero orange, some Carolina Reaper, and there's some butch tea at the back there, along with some Thai orange, some super hot demons across here. I've got some padrons at the front, and then we've got a couple of rows here, one of Ricotto Red and one of the early jalapenos. So we've got a nice selection of ones to see what they're like in the spring. So yeah, this is a quite simple way of cutting them back for winter, overwintering the plants, and then they should come back nice and strong in the spring. Okay, thanks very much guys.